Alright, we're good there. Make sure we're good here. Alright. Looks like we're good. And the nice thing about Minecraft is that there's not like a start. So we can kind of just let people roll in here. And I can just work on stuff. Works really good. That I was distracted. That was my bad. I'm gonna try a quick trade before the sun sets. Let's repair some stuff. We'll do that. Do that. We'll do that. Do that. Hi, how's it going? Just trading some paper. How's everybody doing? Oh, and yeah, Baldwin Verge, I saw the post. I was gonna go respond to that, and then I forgot. But I saw that you got your Freddy Fazbear shirt. I, aside from 2 books, don't own any FNAF merch. I'm not a merch kind of guy. Hey, man of the man, how's it going? Man, there's people coming in here. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's day been going so far? I'll give you guys a little tour in a second, I guess. I'm gonna put some stuff away. No, Emerald's going there. Never mind. How's it going? It's good to have everybody here, and it's good to have you back. How are you doing? Just got back from the underworld. How was the underworld? But we'll do a little I guess base tour maybe. I'll show you guys a little bit of the world while we're kind of just settling in. So this is my little compound. I'm still working on expanding it, but we got our farm. We got the furnaces. I still have to make a building for the enchantment table, as I haven't gotten that far yet. We got the storage, and then this is the main compound, which I just moved my storage out from here to over there. So this is our main little compound here. I wanted to go for a more realistic approach to this world rather than the more like crazy for Minecraft. I want to do a little more realistic. We've got the portal. We got my lava farm. The super fancy tunnel that brings me out to the monorail into the city. And that's about it for builds, really. Alright, let's see. How long did it take me to build this? I mean, I've been doing, let's see. We're on day 117 of this Minecraft world. So I guess however long that equates to. Also, there's like 5 happy ghasts flying around here. That guy's stuck. I've just been freeing them. Let's see. J. That's cool. Working on your own original stories. I'm actually, that was part of what I wanted to talk about on stream here today. I have not a full concept, but a partial concept for my own original horror series that I want to do on the channel. And I just thought it'd be fun to talk a little bit about it more loosely here on stream. And then at some point I am going to make probably an official, like, hey, here's the rundown kind of a video. But I thought it'd be fun to kind of just talk about it a little bit here on stream. And if you guys have any questions about it, because I do maybe have some answers. It's not, I really want to take my time on this thing, so it's not like fully thought out yet. Like, I'm still really working on it. But I have some general ideas. Can I build a duck eating a duck? No, because this world is supposed to be a little more realistic. I don't want to do weird stuff like I've done on my other worlds where there's like floating bases and the whatnot. But basically this stream just gonna be kind of a fun, chill, hangout kind of a thing. Usually what the Minecraft streams are. Some other news. I tried out Secret of the Mimic VR. I was debating streaming that, but then streaming VR has its issues. But I tried out Secret of the Mimic VR, and I gotta say, it was definitely an experience. It's a little odd, especially in the movement department. It's a little bit odd. Now let's see. Well, seeing as ducks aren't in Minecraft, whatever. But you reminded me, I do have a pond for a little axolotl buddy. This used to be a little lava lake, and I turned it into a little pond for my axolotl. So that's fun. Can I build a palace for royalty? At some point. At some point, the plan... So I guess I'll just give you guys the plan here. Because obviously this is kind of just what I do with some of my free time. We'll go up to my unfinished watchtower. The plan is to turn my island into like a palace fortress. And then upgrade the village into like an actual port village kind of a thing. So the plan is to eventually make a super cool big base. I just haven't gotten that far yet. And I kind of like the more small scale stuff right now. It's kind of nice. Build a small duck on the water. What is it with you guys wanting me to build a duck? I don't know if I can do that. I mean, I don't really build animals that often. And right now my priority is to work on the compound. So that's gonna be the top priority here. But oh, let's see. Do I have any tips for making a horror series? I mean, I'm still in the early stages of mine, so I don't know how much advice I can really give that's gonna be like good advice, but I would say for me the biggest thing is trying to come up with a concept that feels fresh and unique without it having to be like you're doing something like you're trying too hard to make it original. Since people have been coming up with stories since the dawn of time, it's going to be hard to come up with something that is like 100% no, you know, influence or anything like that from other media. So I think the biggest thing is to take concepts from things that you really enjoy and then work off of that. Like obviously mine is going to be medieval inspired, and there's going to be some other elements in there that I'll talk about. But you take different things that you're inspired by and then work off of those, and I'm trying to think of a good way to word it. Like, take those core concepts and add them to the setting that you're coming up with. And I think that's another key thing, too, is to establish a setting first before coming up with what you really want to do. Because if you have a setting and then you add your horror element to that, I think it works a little bit better than having your horror element and trying to add the setting to the horror element. So I'm hoping that made a little sense. It was a little odd, but Thomas, do I have any tips on making videos? Making videos, it really depends on what kind of videos you want to make. If you're like, I don't know, like it's kind of hard to explain if you don't have like a video idea that you want to do. Like what kind of videos would you be talking about making, I guess, is my question. then Jonathan, you should make yours Greek mythology inspired. I mean, if you want to. Mine, I don't have the full horror element established 100% yet. But I have the setting established and some concepts that I want to work with so that I can move forward from there. But I really want to establish the setting in the core, like, kind of feel of the series before working on it. So that way I can have things established and then from there move forward with actually working on the horror element of it. Make my horror series actual horror on like Poppy Playtime. Yeah, that's the other thing too. I want to make it like not mascot horror. Like that's kind of the big thing. I don't want to just do a mascot horror thing again, because that's been done way too many times. I don't know how to Star Wars. You're hopping on Star Wars Battlefront 2 because today is the Resurgence. Oh, I didn't know that. I would have played that if I had known that. I didn't realize that was today. If I had remembered, I probably would have played that instead, but I played it the other week. Thomas, you have an idea for a monster? That is pretty interesting. I do like that idea of... I don't know how to word it, but I like what you're going for with that idea. No, Jonathan, I think you're correct. I think it is today. I remember that being a thing. I just didn't remember that it was today. Oh, also, with my original horror series, I want to take a different approach to it in terms of the actual media that it's, or like the type of media that it's going to be released in. So typically it's just kind of like my videos are me explaining something, like the rewrite videos or the other discussion videos, right? Like they're just kind of, how did that guy get up there? They're kind of just like me talking about whatever, right? For this original horror series, I want to do something different. I want to actually do something with it. I want it to be like the first major achievement of the channel, if that makes sense. Maybe not like the first, because I've had other stuff like the rewrites and whatever. But like I want it to be something that it defines my channel going forward. So I want it to be like actually something like big. And there's a couple ideas I have in mind for how to do that. The first of which is that I don't want it to be a game. It's not going to be a game that I'm going to, you know, write and whatever. It's not even going to be a game that I'll have made at some point. I don't want it to be a game. And it's not like I have anything against games. It's just that I want to do something different. Jonathan... Whoa, what the heck? Ooh, chainmail. Maybe I can get some chainmail. Hey, we got the helmet. What the? I should probably put a torch up there. Sorry, I'm trying to find out zombies while also answering you guys' questions. Great. What's your favorite clone legion in Star Wars? That's a tough one. I don't want to... I don't know. Probably the 41st. That's the, 41st is the... Like, with Commander Gree, right? That's the one I'm thinking of? Whichever one has Commander Gree and they have, like, the... Like, they're on Kashyyyk in Episode 3. That one's my favorite. Thomas... What should I name the monster? Bugo? It's an interesting name. The man of the man. Make it the most viewed on your channel. Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know if it would be the most viewed, but make it, like, the most production put into it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. How do I... Hang on. I want it to be, like, the best produced in, like, an actual thing rather than just me making some random commentary stuff. I want it to actually be something. So there's a couple different ideas I had for it. One is that I make it a book, like an actual book, which I've tried to do before, but that was for like FNAF stuff, and I just did not feel inspired to write a FNAF book. But an original series could be something more interesting. The other idea I had that I thought could be more fun and interesting and actually cool and fits with the YouTube setting is to make it a sort of animated series, if that makes sense. I mean, I can't animate, so I'd have to like find and hire somebody who can animate, because like I said, I can't do that. But I think it'd be really fun if it was like an original animated series that had like voice acting and all this kind of stuff with it. Like, I think it'd be really cool to do something like that. So that's my idea that I kind of have. Here's the 501st. I mean, I like the 501st. I was debating picking that one, mainly because they're blue, and I like blue. But I decided to go with the 41st because they're green and they're cool, and they were on Kashyyyk, so they were helping out the Wookiees. I like how all my reasons are just like completely superficial stuff. It's not like, oh, it's the 501st because it's Anakin and they got Captain Rex. Like, it's the 41st because they're cool and they're green. I don't know. I just don't put that much like thought or care, I guess, into it. But that sounds bad, but it's not bad. Thomas, the game could be a mix. Ooh, I do like that idea. That's a cool idea. Like a horror survival game of sorts. That's cool. I like that. I think it's funny when people play like Battlefront 2 or whatever, and they're like, oh, I'm put on the droid team. Oh, no, I have to be the clones for the Republic and all that kind of stuff. And, like, don't get me wrong. You know, I like the clones. I support the clones. But if I'm playing Battlefront 2, I'd honestly rather be the droids. Because I don't know why. They just are so much more fun to play as, for me. Mainly on defense. If I'm a droid on defense, I do pretty good. Especially because you can just do the droidica stuff, and then you just win. Which, being a droidica is peak. Alright, that got me enough of that. Anything else I need from down here? Dirt, I guess. Roger, Roger. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The droids are cool. Anybody who's like, droids aren't cool, the droids are cool. At the end of the day, if I had to pick one to support, probably pick the clones. But the droids are cool. I mean, come on. They got like the super cool looking vehicles. Anybody who says droids aren't cool, they look pretty cool. That's kind of my reasoning, my stance. Like, I might not support their side or anything, but they at least look cool. How's there to drown down here? Dude couldn't swim out of a little puddle? I mean, maybe he deserved that, I guess. Alright, come on. And I got one extra torch. Let's put it here. Just blasted some Clikers. Dude, the worst thing in Battlefront 2 is when is when you're going on Kashyyyk and you're on the clone side. You're playing a clone on Kashyyyk, and it does the opening scene, and then the clone dude's like, oh great, just what we needed, a bunch of noisy clankers moving into the neighborhood. And it's like, whoa, why is he talking like that? Like, it's crazy. I'm like, why? like they did that intentionally. They had to have. There's no way they don't. Like, that's really bad. It's still one of the most shocking things I've ever had happen in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Also... a caterpillar monster? Like PJ Pugapillar? I do like your idea of like a survival horror game, because oftentimes you see survival games with like horror mods, but I do like a survival horror game. Oh, you're one of the jet troopers? I can't stand those guys. Whenever I'm like on the droid side and I get a kill and it's a jet trooper that I kill, I'm always like pumping my fist in the air. Let's go! I got a jet trooper. In fairness, though, I do the droideka spam, so I guess I can't really complain. When we're attacking the clone ship, you spam droidekas all the way once you get to the reactor. On the other hand, though, I do love a good being a clone trooper on the Republic ship and you're on defense. Being a clone on defense is also pretty cool. As you could probably tell, I'm a defense kind of guy. I'm not an offense. I'm not really going out there too much. I'm either a sniper or an officer, and typically I'm just a sniper. Alright, I need to find a home for this chainmail armor. Put it in here. Time to make some coarse dirt. If I can actually do that. There we go. Dirt and then stone. We'll do this. And that. There we go. Put slabs over there. Gravel. There we go. Hey, Linka, how's it going? Glad to have you here. And then... yeah, I mean, jet troopers are easier to do both, I would suppose. I've never actually played as a jet trooper at all, actually. I like to just stick with my guy and just go from there. Sniper, occasionally an officer if I'm feeling like mixing things up a little bit. That's probably good. It looks like enough coarse dirt. Oh, we need more cobblestone. I probably should have grabbed that while I was out there. As you can see, a lot more resources go into this than one might seem. Or than one might think it seems. Whatever, you know what I mean. And Thomas, we're talking about the EA Battlefront 2. Link. Well, hopefully this will be enough background noise for you. I mean, I don't know what we're really going to be talking about this whole time, but hopefully it works. You know, it was something I realized going into, like, when I was working on back like a year ago with the FNAF rewrites and stuff, I realized that most of you guys, I can't say everybody, but most of you guys just sort of watch my videos in the background, which I have no problem with. I ain't got a problem with that. So that's what I try to cater towards more now. I mean, I've been doing it for a little while, but more the working on like better writing and audio than the visual side of things. Like, I don't want to put a ton of time and effort into like the most complex looking visuals on a rewrite video if most people are just going to listen to it in the background. So like, I'll put more effort into other areas, which again, no problem if you just listen to them. I ain't got a problem with that. That's what I do for most of the videos I end up watching. It's just something that you gotta, you know, adapt and work around. Which reminds me that the channel, I feel like right now, is kind of undergoing a little bit of a metamorphosis, if you will. Trying to find what works best for me and the channel, and kind of just going forward from there. Which is what I'm hoping this original horror series is going to do. I did not mean to get out. That was my fault. Hang on. We'll elytra clip this. There we go. Easy. Also, yes, I do have an elytra that I could use to fly around, but I want to try to avoid doing that as much as possible. Also, I think the game could have a monster. Oh, kind of like a skinwalker mechanic. Those are always cool. I like those. And Doey, how's it going? Should you make YouTube videos? People aren't liking, responding to your comments anymore. On what? Like on... I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends if you have ideas you want to do for YouTube. That was briefly brought up earlier, but making YouTube videos is a very fun thing to do, but you have to kind of know what you want to do. Oftentimes when people start YouTube, they kind of just do literally anything under the sun. And, well, oftentimes that might get you people here or there. It tends to really not do a lot. So if you want to make videos, you have to know what you want to do and how you're going to do it, which is going to take time. I mean, for me, it took over a year before I really focused in on the discussion video aspect, which, if you don't know what discussion videos are, those are the main, like the rewrites and all that kind of stuff. It took me like a year to actually establish that as a, you know, major thing I wanted to do on the channel. So it takes time. I mean, heck, my first over a year on the channel was just daily gaming videos, which took a toll on me. So, it just depends on what you want to do. Anakin's gone. Though if you make critique concept rework videos, yeah, no, I think that works. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, I feel like it doesn't really, I mean, I guess it also depends on what your, you know, hopes and dreams and goals are for YouTube. Like, if you want to make YouTube to be like the next Mr. Beast and making like tons and tons of money and subscribers and huge millions and millions of view videos, then you want to know, then you want to have to pick something that like a ton of people are going to pay attention and watch. Or if you just want to make kind of more personal fun stuff and you don't care that much about views and all that kind of stuff, then you do kind of like what I do, just rewrite videos. I mean, they've been doing decent, but I don't do the videos for like top performing views or anything like that. I mean, obviously the hope is that people watch them, but I just do them for fun. So whatever you think is fun would be my suggestion. Thomas, you make content about the game if you want to. Like, yeah, I mean, if you're like, hey, here's a concept I have for a game, and you make it a video, you could do that. Jonathan, for Supremacy, I only do the Galactic, whatever it's called. The one like everybody does. I don't know if I've ever... Is that Supreme? I don't know. Whichever one everybody does. That's the one I play. For the Battlefront 2 stuff. Unknown. The actual... Yeah, the... Thanks? I don't know what you're trying to get at with that, but the cool thanks. I know that. I don't know. I'm probably missing something. That's on me though. Man of the man. You're the first guy that you saw to do rewrites and stuff. A lot of people I'd seen do some rewrites on certain FNAF content. I'm definitely one of, if not the first, to do Poppy Playtime rewrites. I looked up Poppy Playtime rewrites when I first started making them, just to see if there was, like, anything out there. Because I like to get a little bit of inspiration. Like, not obviously steal content, but, like, hey, if somebody else has done a Poppy Playtime rewrite, you know, I'd like to hear what they were thinking, because maybe there's something I missed, right? Like, that's kind of what I like to try to do. I've done that with, like, FNAF and stuff. And I looked, and there was literally nothing. It was, like, drier than the stinking Sahara Desert. Like, there was nothing for Poppy Playtime rewrites. So, I honestly might be the first to actually make videos, I should say. Or they were just so buried in YouTube that you couldn't find them. Doey, you don't care about subscribers. Care about... If you're concerned about, like, if you're making YouTube videos and you want people to, and you just want a ton of, you know, support and all that kind of stuff, that might be a little difficult to have, like, full, like, if you're looking for only support for your videos, that might be a little tricky. Like, obviously people are going to dislike what you make to some degree. Hopefully a little less so than people ending up actually liking it. For example, my Poppy Playtime rewrite series, a lot of people weren't fans of it, but a lot of more people were fans of it. But there's always going to be criticism, so you just have to kind of know that. Link. You have your own channel for game dev. Yeah, video essays, there's just something about them that are kind of fun. I don't know. I've really gotten into it more in the past, like, year. But video essays are incredibly fun. Oh, it's a You Are the Father. I gotcha. I gotcha. Doey. You're here for the chapter 5. Oh, that's fine. And then... what editing concept do I use? Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Like, editing... like... the software and equipment that I use, or like the concept working? I just need a little clarification. You have to remember, I'm a little slow when it comes to things. Ooh, I gotta add this on the map. Perfect, there's our map of our little town. And our compound. Alright, so I think the next goal should be build the path. And then I'm going to make a little gazebo for the enchantment table here. Even though I never use it anymore. Man of the man. Do you think your rewrites would have been... I'm assuming would have been different if there were other rewrites you could take inspiration from. I mean, maybe it's hard to say. There might have been some more, I guess, common ideas that I could have not used, but like been inspired by, instead of just kind of coming up with everything from scratch. But I feel like on the whole, they probably would have been pretty similar to how they are now. And then Thomas, why are you detailing the ground so much? Because I like to make it look nice. I mean, like, when you look at it, it gives it texture and it gives it life. Like, it just makes it look a little bit nicer than just everything being one solid thing. And then sorry, I'm getting back to your question. The editing software. I used to use Microsoft Clipchamp. That was back when I did gaming videos. Now I use Adobe Premiere, but I would recommend finding one that is a little bit cheaper, because Adobe Premiere is like $1 trillion. And I can afford it, obviously, that's why I'm using it. But it is a lot of money. So if you're like, hey, I don't have a lot of money, don't use Premiere. Look for something else. I'd recommend Clipchamp. It's pretty easy to use. And then to get like the pro version of it or whatever, it's like a $10 a month subscription, which is still pretty hefty. But it's better than like the $30 or whatever Premiere Pro is. So, but I use Premiere Pro. What the heck? I was not watching where I was going, and I fell in the one little hole in the ground. Also, I'm trying to do a thing where I clear out this whole section of trees all the way to that river over there. I'm trying to be like the Onceler. Chop down all the trees. I don't know why. It's like something I always do on my survival worlds, is just clear a forest for the sake of it. Jonathan, you made a rewrite FNAF locations. Oh, I see. Oh, so you made your own? That's fun. I actually made my own version of how I pictured Fredbear's Family Diner for my Help Wanted 3 rewrite. Especially because I can't draw or model or anything like that. Link, DaVinci Resolve. I feel like I've heard of that one. Yeah, I mean, I'd say, yeah, my recommendation for editing software, I just use Premiere Pro because I already have Photoshop. But, like, yeah, if you're looking for just something that's not going to be too insane, there's plenty of, like, cheaper options out there. Dolly, how can I record my voice in a video? I use a Blue Yeti microphone. I've been using it since I started YouTube videos. I got it like just before I started YouTube. And it's been working pretty decent. I think there are some quirks of it that could probably be a little better. And this one's already like over 2 years old. So maybe it might be time, but it's still working pretty good. But I'd recommend whatever I'm using, Blue Yeti thing. They're pretty good. But I'm not like that well versed in actual equipment. I just kind of buy something that looks good. Dolly, you're fine. You can. The point of the chat is for everybody to chat and talk to me. So I don't care if I have to pause what I'm doing. It's just Minecraft, and that goes for any game. If I'm playing, I don't know, like a FNAF game or something, like the point is that I'm here to chat with you guys, so I can always pause whatever I'm doing. Also, I haven't actually, to answer your other question, Dolly, I haven't listened to that song, but I know which one you're talking about. But I have not listened to it. Unknown. What do I think of Lulu Lovebraid's character? I think she's fine. Honestly, I think she works a little better in the insane category than Mommy Longlegs. But I think they just didn't really do anything else with her except for just make her Mommy Longlegs again. So I wish they would have done more with her character. And maybe not even, like, more screen time. Just, like, actually have her be there more. Like, in my rewrite, she's not there for more screen time. But she does more. So I think they should have done that. But I think her character's fine. Jonathan, your skin is Commander Thorn. That's pretty cool. Mine is just Spaceman, which is a skin I made myself. I made it like a long time ago. Maybe not that long, like a few years ago. Oh, Link, you tried Clipchamp. Yeah, Clipchamp is a very... I mean, it's gotten a little worse. I haven't actually used it in a while, like in a good few months. It's gotten a little worse, but it is definitely just more basic. But it can also, like, if you're not looking for anything fancy for video editing, I think it's not the worst option. Also, I think they changed it so that it relies on your OneDrive system. I hate OneDrive. But I think they use that, too. So if your, like, OneDrive is full, it's like, oh, you can't do anything. I don't know. I haven't used it in a long time, so. Hang on. We're going to take a quick second to catch up. Thomas, what is the meaning of life? Life is about being kind and happy and just being the best you can be. That's what life is truly all about. Just be kind to others and look at the bright side. That's my answer. Unknown, you think that she'll come back? She'll probably come back. They're gonna have her show up in Chapter 6. We're gonna team up with Giblet, and then the actual good characters aren't gonna be there, like Doey. He's just dead. He was like the most well-written character in Poppy Playtime, and then he's just dead. I said I was gonna catch up, didn't I? OneDrive is your hub. I actually have a story with OneDrive. So this was like a couple months into me making videos. Specifically, when I was doing my sister location playthrough for the first time, I accidentally clicked like the start using OneDrive button or whatever. Like I accidentally clicked like activate OneDrive, and it literally effed up everything because I have some duplicate documents on my laptop and on my computer, and it just cloned everything, and it just screwed up literally everything, and it took me like months to fix it. It was terrible. Wow, okay. Gotta take a second here to catch up real quick. Doey. Alright, I'll answer all of your things first, Doey. Should we make a video of a complete rework for this chapter? Sure, you can do that. And then hot take. I like Chapter 4. I like Chapter 4 for the story. I think the gameplay leaves a little to be desired, but I love Chapter 4 for the story. The story for Chapter 4 is really good. Should you rank the chapters? You can if you want to. I've briefly ranked them before. Thomas. You think they should have a way more character-driven story? I think Poppy Playtime works well for character-driven stories. Unlike something like FNAF, which I think shouldn't do that. But that's a whole other can of worms. Wait, which one's this? Oh, they go in here. Alright, what did I need this for? Oh, I needed it for the gazebo. I also need spruce wood. What did I do with the bone meal? Here it is. Unknown. What got me into Poppy Playtime? I honestly can't say when the first time I saw anything Poppy Playtime related was. I remember the first chapter coming out. I probably either watched, I don't know, like Markiplier or Fusion or somebody play it. Bone meal to the ground. And then I kind of enjoyed it. I liked Huggy Wuggy. He was cool. And then Chapter 2 came out, and I watched people play that, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then when Chapter 3 was coming out, that was right around the time I wanted to start doing YouTube. So then I played through the first 2 chapters, and then I actually played through Chapter 3 as one of the first series I ever did on the channel. And then ever since then, it's just become kind of channel connected because it was the first ever major series I did. So that kind of holds a special place in my heart. Jonathan, you're gonna record the vids real quick. All right. I'm trying to. What was I trying to break the bone meal? And then Doughy. Hang on. I hate when they're just like one block too tall, and you have to jump up and do that. Is this enough spruce wood? Probably. Well, probably not, but it'll be enough for now. Now I just gotta wait for all the leaves to break down. Alright, worst to best. Worst is Chapter 2 and then Chapter 5. You put Chapter 1 and 3rd? Huh. And then 4 and then 3. I'm trying to remember how I ranked mine. I might have actually put Chapter 1 and 3rd as well. I don't remember. I feel like I put Chapter 1 high up because it's got Huggy Wuggy and it's the first one. But aside from Chapter 1, it would probably be the same order. 3 I like because it's scarier. 4 I like for the story. And then 5 was pretty fun. And then Chapter 2 is just the weakest for me. It's not that it's bad. I don't hate Chapter 2. I think it's just the weakest for gameplay and for story, you know, for all that. Also, I hate the floating leaves, which is why I like to clear them out. I cannot reach that one. Whatever. Good enough. Unknown. Well, it makes sense that a lot of the Poppy Playtime fans are kids because it's kind of like FNAF, where on the outside it looks very like oriented towards kids, but then like it's really not. So then kids are like, "Oh, I'll watch Poppy Playtime and it's Huggy Wuggy," and then it's like, "Oh, here's kids getting brutally turned into toys." So it's just the way it looks, I think, because it's Mascot horror. Well, Mascot horror isn't necessarily for kids, but it definitely leans that way, especially in FNAF. FNAF for some reason leans so heavily into it being like kids content, which is absolutely outrageous. Also a high rewrite. Got the heavy here. I saw that. I was getting to you. But it's absolutely outrageous that FNAF does that because of the books, especially the Fazbear Frights and Tales from the Pizzaplex. Those books are, like, kids should not be reading those at all. But then yet they're kind of almost like targeted towards kids because it's like, oh, it's FNAF and it's little like kids books kind of things. And then you read it and it's like, and this character just got absolutely brutally mauled to death. Oh, that doesn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So, yeah, I kind of have a little issue with that part of it, but let's see. You're trying to think of a mascot character? Any ideas how to make a mascot? Nope. I have no ideas on how to make a mascot. You got to give them a big smile. And then, I don't know, go on from there or something like that. Alright, what do I need? I want this. I'm trying to picture how I'm going to build this gazebo. If you can't tell, I love that word. It's just such a funny word. I don't know why. Oh, man of the man. You found a Poppy Playtime rewrite. Oh, well, that's fun. I'm curious how that one would be. I mean, it's on DeviantArt, so you never know, but rewrite to make that is an interesting way to make a mascot, I guess. I probably shouldn't have all of these be cobblestone. I should have some of them be different. We'll swap some of them out. Unknown, you are not alone in that sentiment. I think, well, the YouTube Kids exists for a reason. And we'll just say that. Alright, what am I looking for? We'll do 2 of those. And then maybe we'll do like 1 mossy stone, cobblestone stair. Assuming I can. But yeah, no, I mean, for me, whenever I'm making like any of my videos, I know that since it's going to be like FNAF or Poppy Playtime oriented, there are going to be kids that are probably going to watch them. So I always try to be at least a little bit more like careful in what I'm, you know, saying and like how detailed I'm going to be, because I don't want to be like, hey, here's my video and here's some really graphic stuff that I'm talking about. And then like little Timmy decided to watch it, and now I scarred little Timmy for life, and his mom hates me or something because I made a video. So I try to be a little bit more on the lighter side of things, even though there are definitely some more darker elements in my videos, particularly the storytime videos. The storytime, short story, they're the same thing. We have to figure out the shape. What is this gonna look like? Okay, so this, we want to put something here and then play in from there. So I'm thinking out here, maybe 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and that should get our shape. Perfect. But the sun is about to go down, so let's head out. Thomas. Yeah, what does your mascot look like? I'm curious. Oh, we also need, I almost forgot, we need barrels. Those are important to the design element. Rewrite. I accidentally watched. What? What is happy? What is that? What do you rewrite? What are you talking about? I don't know what that is. Unknown. Let's not start any rivalries up. The mascot for people in their 30s? That just sounds like the saddest thing I've ever heard. Like, that's gotta be one of the saddest things I've just heard right now. The mascot for people in their 30s. That just sounds so sad. Like, you're 30 years old and you're watching a mascot. Although I guess I can't really complain. I'm singing 23 and I'm talking about Five Nights at Freddy's and the Huggy Wuggy. But in fairness, those aren't necessarily made for people my age. Well, I guess they kind of are now, thanks to, like, theories and stuff. Oh, I did not see those. Also, you can watch my build process for making buildings. Alright, Thomas, your mascot looks like a businessman. Stop right there, that's pretty scary. He's a salesman. That is the perfect mascot. I see what you're talking about, you're right. Yeah, I can see how that's... I can see how that's traumatizing. We'll go with that word. Alright, now I gotta figure out how I want to do this. Maybe it can be like an open top gazebo. But a gazebo needs a roof, I feel like. I also feel like I maybe made it a little too tall. I feel like I made it just a block too tall. I feel like there's some history between some of you guys that I am not aware of. Alright, let's grab up all of this, and then... I gotta put all the barrels down again. I did not even sprint. Oh, I miss the days of parkour. Back when Minecraft multiplayer games were all the rage. Alright, we need to make some stairs. I don't know how far that's going to get me, but let's see. Alright, that's not bad. Man of the man. You have them blocked. And Baldwin Birds, of course. Gotta have the one random thing of the day. I don't know. I don't tend to block people. I think I did block somebody once. There's a whole story for this. This is like over a year ago. This is like a while ago. There's some guy who would sometimes show up to my streams. I think they were a kid. They would show up to my streams and they were like constantly being like, "Oh, you should watch this YouTube series. It's super cool and blah 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 blah." And I was always like, "No, I don't want to watch that." Like, right? Like I'm not gonna just watch something that people recommend, right? Like I don't always work like that. And then they got super upset and they kept like leaving hate comments and they would like come to the live streams and be like, "Dude, you suck and I'm gonna unsubscribe." I'm like, okay, do it then, buddy. I don't know. I always like it when people try to be like, "Oh, you know, I could do that. I could unsubscribe." And I'm like, okay, just do so then, buddy. It's not like I'm sitting out here being like, "No, please don't unsubscribe." Like, if you want to unsubscribe, you do you. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But yeah, and then I blocked them because he just kept like spamming a ton of random stuff in chat, and I was like, all right, we're done. But I don't tend to block people. Only because I then feel bad, and I don't know. That's the kind of person I am. But I will if I need to. It's not out of the question. Out of the question. Not, I don't know. Whatever the saying is. I think I got it right. It's not out of the question. Yeah, I got the saying right. We're going to need more spruce wood. I only got enough for 2 not slabs. What are these? Trapdoors? Well, time to go get some more spruce wood. Minecraft FNAF roleplay videos? I'm not surprised those exist, but I can't say I've ever watched or heard anything of those. I have stairs here. Why don't I just do whatever? It would help if I looked into my storage system before I just went and did something. You thought there was something really bad? No. I mean, I've never had anything really bad happen on the channel, which, now that I say that, somebody's gonna do something. But thankfully, I've never had to actually, like, do anything crazy. I don't know what the matter is with kids these days. They're just crazy. I really don't know. So I guess I can't really like share too much. But my mom works in like a elementary school type setting. She's not a teacher, but like she works in an elementary school, and she knows that I make these kind of videos, right? And she was like asking me the other day about like, oh, some of the kids in her class were talking about she couldn't remember, but they were like some blue mascot, and I was like, is it Poppy Playtime? And she's like, yeah, that's what it is. We're talking about like 5-year-olds here, and they're talking about Huggy Wuggy. I'm like, what? Like, what happened? When I was 5, I was like, oh, it's Scooby-Doo. Like, I'm not talking about Poppy Playtime. Or like Star Wars. Oh, I can be Luke Skywalker. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. I blame the 2018 to 2020 Fortnite live streams. Not Fortnite itself, but the live streamers. That's who I blame. People like Ninja and everybody else around that time. That's who I blame. Because they were just toxic beyond belief. And then kids were watching that kind of stuff. That's who I blame. I might be wrong, but like, yeah, you know. Parents don't pay. Well, that's true. Parents do. Thomas, you remember a kid yesterday who threw an iPad straight towards your face? Was this in school? In shul? Kids are morons. That's one way to put it, I guess. I mean, in some ways, that's just what kids always are, because they're kids, and they don't always know any better. But like, I'm still surprised by people who are like when I was in like high school and stuff, when I like a couple grades behind me, and they're like acting like they're in 5th grade, and they're like freshmen in high school, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? I don't know. I feel old a lot, and I'm only 23, and I feel like I'm 1,000 years old sometimes. Like, man, kids these days sound like singing Peepaw Afton. All right, we need to figure out a good roof for this thing. Hmm. Hmm. I'm wondering, I probably should put it up one more. I probably had it right the first time. But it's time to sleep. Like and subscribe for free V-Bucks. That's what the big thing was back in the day. Thomas, we're talking about how dumb kids are because kids are dumb. But it's just what it is. Like, if I was, if I was like 10 years old and I had somebody tell me that I'm dumb, I'd be like, I'm not dumb, but I'm 10. And I'm like flying my Lego Star Wars spaceship around. Like, I don't know. Like, I think to some degree, kids are just inherently dumb, but that's because they're kids. But I also think a lot of times these days, mom and dad are just like, I don't want to raise my kids, so I'll just give them unlimited access to the internet. And they could just watch whatever they want. Oh, I wonder why my kid's acting so awful now. I wonder what could have possibly happened to make my kid start acting like a singing jerk. I wonder what could have ever happened. But no, I mean, like, I guess kind of on another thing, when I was talking about, like, my videos, I don't make my videos kid-friendly, but I also don't use a lot of language in my videos, but it's not like I do that because it's kid-friendly. I just don't really swear all that often. But no, like, you see people who, like, will not ever use language in their videos, and it's like, I can't, because then the YouTube algorithm is gonna, I don't know, like, shoot me or something. And it's like, alright, it's not that bad. I just don't use it. From time to time, but... Alright, Doughy. I think Lily can still be there. Like, I think it's fine that she's there. I think it's just how she's utilized. Which is why I changed it in mine, where it's like, you have the big battle, you get her knocked to the ground, you stand over her like the Avengers over Loki, and then the prototype shows up, and he catches us all off guard because we thought we won, but then we didn't. And she doesn't get involved with the actual, like, storytelling, but she's still there. She's just kind of, like, in the background. But yeah, like, in the actual reveal, she's just, like, smiling and, like, kind of floating in the background. It's a little odd. Unknown, you're probably the only teenager here? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how old anybody is. Except for myself. And my family. Which is, should be obvious. Should be self-explanatory there. Man, I really shouldn't have put this cherry tree here, but that was a long time ago. And I need more. Okay, whatever. Oh, we could plant another cherry tree. Let's plant one right here. You think you are old? Yeah, like that's the crazy thing. It's like, oh, whatever. I'm 23. Oh man, like I gotta start putting my life together. I mean, I do in a way. I have a full-time job that I work at, which it's not terrible. It's fine. I shouldn't have made that many slabs, but whatever. But yeah, like I'm an adult. I drive my car. I drive my commute to work. I just like to use YouTube as sort of a fun little, not distraction, but like a, hey, I can talk about non-adult talk. Like, it's just something fun. Doughy. How can you get used to criticism or people hating you, especially on media? For me, I'm trying to think of a good way to word it. That's always the tricky thing. And that's something that I always have an issue with, I guess, with videos, is wording things. I'm not great at wording things, but at the end of the day, for me, especially if it's stuff online, I mean, it's a little different if it's like people you know, but if it's just like, oh, you make a YouTube video and people are criticizing you, one, if you look at things like, hey, it's not that deep, like, oh, I'm making a Poppy Playtime rewrite video, it's really not like super deep. It's just, hey, I'm making a Poppy Playtime rewrite video. So anybody who's like taking it super serious in the comments, it's like, that's not a big deal. So I'm not gonna get offended if people are like not happy with the stuff I made. But for actual like criticism and stuff, I mean, it's never going to make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Like, if I get a hate comment on one of my videos, it doesn't make me feel all like, oh, I'm happy I got this. It doesn't make you feel great. But you have to look at it as, like, I don't really know this person. And if they aren't being constructively criticism, like, hey, I enjoyed these parts of the video, but I think you could have done better here. If they're just being like, huh, your video's trash and you're stupid and who cares about you, they're just being a rage baiter, and they really are just actually probably stupider than most people on the planet. So, like, I don't know this person. They're not bright, obviously, because they're just rage baiting on a video. So I just don't let it affect me, because it, in the grand scheme of the universe, means absolutely nothing. So that's kind of, I guess, maybe a bare bones basic explanation of how I view things. Like a prime example. I'll catch up to all you guys in a second. But like a prime example. There was somebody who left a hate comment on the Chapter 2 rewrite video, and they were like, man, this sucks, who cares about you, whatever, right? Like, just typical kind of rage baity, trying to get me to be like, oh, I'm so sad. This is that kind of stuff. And I just did the 1-2 buckle my shoe response with like, man, you must be having a bad day, dude. Like, are you feeling okay? So I like to do a little rage bait back to people who are talking like that, because I think it's kind of funny. But you just gotta, like, it sounds like I'm being very simplistic, but you just gotta let it not get to you. Just don't take it personally, I guess, is a good way to put it. And focus more on the positives that you receive rather than just the negatives. Because you can get negative comments, but then you also get comments where it's like, man, this was super great, or I really enjoyed this, or that kind of stuff. And that's where you really gotta look. That's what really makes your day. At least for me. Alright, I'll catch up with all you guys now. We'll take a little small detour. Wild and birds. Oh, did somebody ask him? Oh, I see. Thomas, how do I build so good in Minecraft? Because I've been playing Minecraft since like 2014. So I've had a good few years of experience building. And I wouldn't say I'm a great builder, but I'm not terrible. But I think I do a decent enough job. But I've been having years of experience. Alright, we're getting more caught up. Jonathan. You thought it was that old? Wow. Sorry, I'm just catching up with everybody. Yeah, like that's, I don't know. I mean, I guess to kind of go with like, hey, don't let people get you down kind of stuff. Thomas, stop with, what are those, frogs? Please stop with that. Otherwise, I will be forced to take action. But I guess kind of, like I was gonna say, kind of another thing with that, my whole family, like, my whole family couldn't care less about the content that I'm, like, making my videos on. Not my videos. They support me in YouTube and stuff like that. But, like, the actual content themselves, like, they don't care about Five Nights at Freddy's or Poppy Playtime. Like, they can't stand that stuff. But I don't let that get me down. Like, whenever they talk about, like, particularly my brother, and it's like, oh, this is, like, dumb or stupid or whatever. Like, I don't let it get me down because it's like, it's not for you. But I like it. And if I like it, that's fine. And if you don't like it, that's also fine. So that's kind of how I see things. Alright, sorry, I'm last minute catching up with everybody. Does it seem like it went from... Yeah, Jonathan, I think that a little bit. I think they wanted to extend it out another chapter, which I don't actually think is a bad idea if it was done right. Like, I know everybody's like, it should have ended with 5. In the story they were setting up, it should have ended with 5. They could have easily made it work. I don't think they did a good job of making it work. Like, Chapter 5 really doesn't feel necessary. They could have made it feel necessary. And that was something I tried to do a little bit with my rewrite, was actually make it feel like it was worth existing. So I will say, I think part of it isn't necessarily that it's for cash grab. I mean, everything's for money. But I do think part of it is that they wanted to make more content and expand things out for people. A big thing I often see is people complaining about Steelwool Studios, particularly with the whole VR Secret of the Mimic thing recently. And I have seen a ton of people be like, man, I hate Steelwool Studios. They suck. They're terrible and they're dumb and I hate them. Like, I've been seeing a ton of that, and it's like, oh, they're just trying to steal our money and they don't care about fans. I argue that they still do. I think fans don't care about fans. People, I think a big thing is that people get so invested in this stuff. Like, they become super fans that it's toxic. Like, I do argue the point that FNAF fans are up there with, like, Lego Star Wars collectors as being some of the most toxic people on the planet. It's bad. Like, why can't people just enjoy a product or dislike a product? Why does it have to be like, oh, well, I enjoyed this product, but since you didn't, I hate you? Like, why does it gotta be like that? Like, the FNAF 2 movie. It's not a great movie, but I enjoyed it. But then I'd get, like, stinging shot in the streets if I said that, because it's like, oh, no, that movie was actually really, really bad, and I can't believe you'd like that because it was just a piece of trash. That's a fair point for you to say, but I'm also allowed to like it. Like, that's kind of, I don't know, my thing. I feel like a lot of, not FNAF fans, I don't like to say FNAF fans, a chunk of the vocal FNAF fans, will say, are like that, where it's like, oh, Scott Cawthon only wants to tear us down. Like, did we see the same movie? Because it was, like, chocked full of stuff for fans. So, I don't know. I think sometimes people just take things way too seriously and way too deep, and you just kind of gotta chill a little bit. But that's my little bit of wisdom, I guess. I don't know. Alright, let's do some more catching up. No, I agree with you, Delby, that they have a, that Poppy Playtime actually does have a decent story. I think they're dragging it on a little too long, but I do think in terms of actual, like, story, it's not terrible. I'd argue it's better than whatever FNAF's doing right now. which, like, I don't know. I don't hate anything really anymore. I don't like to use that word because it's so powerful. I'm not the biggest fan of whatever they're doing, but I don't know. It's also not my product. Like, if they want to do that, then that's up to them. It's fine. The hard part with that unknown is it's like, oh, Steel Wool is milking FNAF, but it's like Scott Cawthon is still the one who's like, hey, we're gonna make these games. Like he's still, he doesn't make the games, but he's still kind of in charge of all that stuff. So like, if anything, it's him. And the thing I will never understand is that, like, FNAF, and I'm saying FNAF fans, but that's not everybody, idolize Scott Cawthon. Like, oh, it's Scott Cawthon, dude. He's, like, the best. But then they also hate his guts. Like, oh, it's Scott Cawthon. Oh, he made the FNAF games and they were so good. But I hate him. I'm like, what? It's a little odd to me. I don't know. Yeah, man. If they prove, if you learn. I do hear what you're saying, man of the man. I do agree with that. I will say they definitely made a game that was far less buggy and glitchy. Like Chapter 4 when it dropped was a mess. I still enjoyed it, but it was a mess. Chapter 5, I had like no issues with it. I don't think there was a single problem I had with Chapter 5 in terms of gameplay. I mean, maybe there was, but I don't think there was anything that I had a problem with. I think it all ran pretty smooth for me. So they at least listened there and made a game that was more playable than whatever Chapter 4 ended up having when it launched. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Baldwin Birds. Like, yeah, you don't like the sequels, but there are also people who do, and it's not like I don't like those people. Unknown. Jonathan, you're fine. You're good that you don't like constantly talk in the chat. It's fine. Just whatever works best for you. That's fine. That's how I roll. Whatever works best for people. But I think I was gonna kind of go along with this a little bit. The whole Steel Wool, Secret of the Mimic VR. People, when they delayed it, when they were like, hey, we're gonna release it, and then the PlayStation version was really buggy, and they said, look, all right, we're gonna delay the launch. We're gonna work on the Steam version. We're gonna make sure it works really good, and you know, we'll be more open with communication. We'll talk to you, all that kind of stuff. Like, right, they were talking like that, and people were livid. How could you delay our game? Which, using "our" is just really terrible. Like, what's this we talk? Why are you including me in this? I'm not here throwing a big fit. The only thing I threw a fit about was that they kind of were misleading with when they were going to release, like, what they were releasing. But I didn't care if they delayed it. But the thing is, people go, oh, Steel Wool, they didn't listen. They don't listen to the fans. They don't listen to us. They did. Security Breach released as a buggy mess. And Steel Wool went, oh, shoot. If we release Secret of the Mimic VR in this state, it's going to be a buggy mess and people are going to throw a fit. Let's delay it, and we'll make sure we do things right. And then that way, when we do launch it, people, you know, like, it won't be bad and it should be better. Isn't that them listening and learning from their mistakes? But yet people are like, no, they should have just released it buggy. But then if they had released it buggy, people would have just complained that they released it buggy. So, like, I don't know. Like, that's where I'm at, where people are just like, oh, I'm gonna hate this no matter what. Like, why don't you just grow up? That's my thing. Sorry for my little tirade, I guess. Went on a little rant there. Adoe. Saw this mascot horror video. Poppy Playtime's lore to Garden of Ban. Like, I get people who say, like, hey, you know, Poppy's story could be, you know, better executed or whatever. Like, I get that kind of stuff. If anybody compares stuff like Poppy or FNAF to Ban in, like, a direct, like, it's this bad, I get, like, have you played Ban? Because I have, and it's not fun. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. Yeah, I will say, man of the man, I will say with Mob Entertainment, they could probably do to stand with maybe making their games drop, like, a year and a half apart. Like, instead of it being like, hey, every January or February they drop a new title, make it like, hey, we're going to do it like every, what would that be? 18 months? Because then it's like, hey, it's a little bit more time, stuff like that. But you got 12,000 points in Battlefront 2. Hang on, we're gonna take a small break. I wanna find the highest score I've ever gotten in a game. I have it saved somewhere on my phone. I had to take a screenshot of it. All right, let's see. Nope, not that one. Man, where is it? I should probably just, like, save it to my favorites or something. It was the best score I've ever gotten on a Battlefront 2. Man, this is embarrassing now. I can't find it. Oh, maybe it's in here? Here we go. My top score ever, my best score ever did, I got 224 eliminations and 96 points. But that was on a round where we went, like, back up and down a couple times. So, like, it's a little bit inflated on the numbers. But I'm, like, in a mid-tier, I find. Unless it's, like, a really good day. But I'm in, like, the mid-tier. Oh, yeah, unknown, sorry. Yeah, I saw your message. I read it. I just didn't respond to it for some reason. But I did read it. Thomas, the stream will be about 2-ish hours. So we got, like, about another 30-ish minutes. And your clone is under the ATR. You're having a lot of bugs with yours for some reason. I've never experienced too many glitches. I don't know if this is a glitch or if this was, like, a hack. I think somebody was hacking, but, you know, you can never know for certain. But there was one time where we went up to, I think we were clones. We went up to the droid ship, and the timer just kept increasing in time. So it was literally like, it lasted like infinitely. We were just stuck on the Republic cruiser. We were just stuck there for like an hour plus fighting on the ship. It was just crazy. The time just kept going up. I think it was probably a hack or a bug. I don't know. It was one of the two. But it was crazy. We were just constantly fighting, having to push the droids back. But there's only so much you can do, because if it's infinite time, then they just have infinite time to keep attacking your ship. So it was one of the wildest matches I've ever been on. And obviously it didn't finish, because... Well, that one didn't finish. I left before it could, because it was just going on so long. But yeah, that was probably one of the craziest Battlefront rounds I've had. There was one guy who was hacking one time, and he was a clone. We were droids on Kashyyyk, and he was just flying around. He's like an ARC trooper. He's like flying around. It was the funniest thing I saw, because he could still hit him, but he was just like flying around. Jonathan, you're playing on Xbox. Oh. I play on my computer, but I use an Xbox controller because I just like the feel of controllers better. I do that when I'm playing Battlefront 2, Red Dead 2, any of those kind of games. I like to play on controller. They just feel better to me. I will say, unknown with something you just brought up there with the Omni hand. I will say, that one is a decision that I think is absolutely stupid on Mob Entertainment's part. Because that immediately just made everybody go, oh. Well, what was the point of getting that if we just lost it immediately? And I feel like that was a last-minute change, because when I went back and I watched the gameplay trailer, we still had our regular our regular grab pack with the Omni hand on it. So I feel like the addition of us losing the grab pack was like a later addition to the chapter. Like one of the last changes. That's what I feel like it is. Which is probably why it feels so odd that we just lose it and then we immediately get another grab pack right after it. That's also why I made it in my version that we, you know, don't lose the grab pack. Because it's kind of just a slap in the face, but you'd play on PC. Oh, your PC is horrible. Yeah, it's a little hard to come by a good computer without having to spend a gazoogle amount of money on it. I think it's funny, the stuff that I spend the most amount of money on is obviously like groceries for myself, but I'd argue like Lego is the next thing I spend a ton of. I have a ton of Lego. Like if you saw my Lego collection, I have so much. Not as much as like the big collectors, because obviously like that's their thing. But I got a ton of Lego. I've been getting the stuff since I was like 8, or maybe even younger, like 6. I'm trying to remember when my first set was. One of my first sets was the 2008 Snowtrooper Battle Pack, where it comes with the 2 Snowtroopers, an AT-AT driver, and then an Imperial officer, I think. Also, hi Rick. Sorry, I was on a little rant. I almost didn't see your message. You're new to the channel. Well, welcome. We're just kind of going on a random tirade rant about nonsense right now. And Al, you made it. How's it going? I wasn't sure if you were going to make it today. Jonathan, everybody says how that we'll keep getting our grab pack. Yeah, I don't see how we're going to get it back unless Huggy Wuggy shows up at the start of the chapter and just vomits it up. I don't see how we're getting it back. Dude, you don't need to be sorry that you're late. In fact, I don't even like to say that you're late, because it's not like it's a schedule. I guess the streams are scheduled. It's not like a thing where it's like you have to be here, like mandatory. It's not like school. My rule is always, if you guys want to join in the live streams, you can, and if you just don't want to, that's fine. Pop in and out as long as you want, as short as you want. That's always my rule. I'm not going to tell people that they have to be here. Although I could start doing that. I wouldn't do that. Oh, I don't have any torches. Oh well. Let's actually grab up this coal. Thomas, when is next stream going to be? That is a good segue into something that I was going to bring up and then I almost forgot, but I should probably bring up. I'm going to be busy next week Saturday, which would mean no live stream a week from now. So the day I typically live stream, not going to be a live stream. But I have been thinking about doing more live streams. I was debating starting to do live streams on Wednesdays. middle of the week, just because it's easier. But I've thought about doing more live streams, at least just one additional one, because I think it'd be fun to do more of them and talk to you guys some more. So if that sounds like a if that sounds like a fun idea, then I'll start doing that. Invisalign, isn't that the is that the teeth thing? What, I don't remember. But that's good, I guess, I suppose. Rick, you are a Minecraft SMP creator. Oh, it's fun. I used to do a lot more server stuff back in the day, but I just don't do that much anymore. I kind of like to just do my own thing. Not that I don't like servers, but I just kind of like to do my own thing. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Okay, we need to hold on to this. And we can turn all of these into torches. I probably shouldn't have done that, but that is okay. We'll just hang on to that. Jonathan, can you name 5 Michael Jackson songs? The only song I listen to that has Michael Jackson in it is the Jackson 5's I Want You Back. I like that song. It's a good song. That's the only one I listen to that has Michael Jackson in it. I don't listen to much Michael Jackson. It's not that I don't like it. Like his music. I just don't listen to it. Oh, sorry, unknown. Right, I saw that. That's my bad. I do feel like Poppy Playtime is a little overhated. Okay. Where is the blacksmith? Is he over here? Hey, no, you're not the guy. You're not the guy. Where is he? Or the weaponsmith, whatever he is. There's a guy who works here. Maybe he died. Anyway, man of the man. Yeah, it's been going for a good while now. We're getting close to the I'm not gonna say close to the end because we still got a little bit of time, but we're getting close to the typical average stream time. Oh. Yeah, they are very. Yeah, no, I'm sure Invisalign is very uncomfortable. I remember when I had my braces for a long time. Those are not fun. I still have a little like permanent metal retainer on my bottom teeth. Like it's just like one of the little wires. That'll be there until I die. They were supposed to take it off like, I don't know, a while ago, and they just like I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't even know if they were supposed to take it off. But it's just there forever now. Doey, yeah, no problem. I enjoy talking to you guys. I'm not a, like, people person, but I enjoy talking to people, if that makes sense. So I enjoy talking to people, and I like giving out advice. I'm the advice guy sometimes. Rick, you're the... Is that how many people play on that Minecraft SMP? Or is that just how many you own? I'm guessing that's how many people play on there. That's pretty cool. Your stream fell the last short. Well, you know, time flies when you're having fun. That's what I always say. Definitely. I don't definitely not always say that. Yeah, no, so surprisingly, the streams do go by pretty quick, even though they're like 2 hours. They feel quite fast. Sometimes. You know, the one thing I do miss, though, about live streams, and most of you guys probably joined after this, but back in the earlier days of the channel, I used to live stream a lot with my best friend David. And he hasn't been on here for a little bit of time. He's been busy with other stuff. But I miss having a co-host on here. Somebody else to just, like, have talking and having fun. So I miss having a co-host. We'll do that. Johnny wants to stream as you're going back to the underworld. Well, best of luck there, I guess. Street YouTuber. How many people do you think regularly come to your channel? I don't know. I have no clue. I'd say maybe... I don't want to give a guess. I don't know. There's enough people, enough of you guys who show up and join the live streams or comment on videos and whatever that makes me feel happy. So there's enough people who, enough of you, I keep saying people, enough of you guys who comment and support and all that kind of stuff that puts a smile on my face. It makes me feel happy. And that's all I need. So, I guess that maybe answers your question. Probably not. I'll do grass next. Out there, one there. Do grass there. We'll do grass there. Ow. You got 2 community posts coming today. Well, I gotta keep my eye open for those. I will be looking forward to it. I guess maybe some of my future stuff. I was gonna release the short story tomorrow, but I'm still working on it a little bit. So I'm delaying the next FNAF short story to Monday, just so that I can make sure that everything is good and stuff with it. Because I don't like to rush and do all that kind of stuff with a product. So, a video product, same thing. So I'm pushing it back by a day, which means that I won't be releasing it on the 1-year anniversary of the security breach rewrite, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think that's about it I have for that. I'll start up the Ban rewrite series here soon. I'm still working on some details and stuff with that. But we're just kind of taking a small, short break from the heavier rewrite videos so that I can kind of like chill for a little bit. Because they aren't stressful, but they are like, hey, they take a bunch of time and all that kind of stuff. So I just like to make sure that I don't overwork myself with working on too much stuff. Because at the end of the day, this YouTube channel is based around whether or not I'm having fun with the stuff I'm doing. And if I'm not, then I'm not going to do it. So that's how I roll. Now, I'm a little confused by your last sentence, but the short story is going to be a security breach based short story that's going to take place a couple days before the events of my security breach rewrite. So it should be pretty fun. It'll be fun to go back and explore that, because it's been again a year since I've done anything with security breach rewrites. Now I gotta figure out where we're gonna expand next. I'm thinking over here. Well, look at that. We now got the road connected up to our gazebo. I just need to add some lights. Things will be looking good here. I don't know why I was trying to sleep. I was going to change the map. Alright, I need lanterns. Alright, well, thanks for stopping in for a second, Al, and I will check out those posts after the stream. What am I looking for? Iron. I need them for lanterns. Let's maybe make like 8. Not what I wanted to grab. Man, we really need to go get some more iron. But, yeah. I don't know. What else do we want to talk about real quick while we're, getting close to ending time? Put a lamp there, a lamp there, a lamp there, a lamp there. And then I'll want some on the outside. Jonathan, are you asking my Battlefront 2 main? Is that what you're asking? I need sticks. My main would be sniper, all the way. Sniper is the one I always go with. Oh wait, I needed these lanterns. Why did I put them in there? It's sniper, and then if I'm the droids, then it's droidica. Thomas, do you think I should build Minecraft? What does that even mean? I should build Minecraft with it? Can you offer some clarification on that one, please? Oh, there. That looks nice. Technically, I guess I should work on trying to get some more lights on the other side, but it doesn't matter right now. I have been doing every project except for my watchtower, which is still just a big platform, which I might honestly just tear down and use the resources for something else. But it gives you a good view. Get to see the whole compound. And you can see my little monorail through the city. Minecraft should have glass slabs. I agree with that, and to some degree. I think they need more slabs. I would be like head over heels for dirt and grass slabs. Like, imagine I didn't have to use jungle slabs for the slabs here. Imagine I could use just a coarse dirt slab. That'd be perfect. But yeah, no, glass slabs would be pretty cool too. I think they'd need to diversify that rather than, hey, it's our next Minecraft thing and we're adding permanent baby animals. Oh, but don't worry, we're gonna add what, like spears or whatever. Like, give me something good. We need like another like not jungle, what was I gonna say? Ocean update or village update, like the 1.14, like the Nether 1.16. Like, we need some like strong updates, and not just, hey, it's 1.21.10,000 like they keep doing now. But I don't know. I just play it because it's fun. I don't keep up too much with the updates. I just typically see whatever people are ranting about on YouTube Shorts or whatever. Which sometimes you get stuck down that rabbit hole. You're like, just kind of scrolling through YouTube and there's one short where you're like, oh, that kind of sounds interesting, and then you just get stuck. And then it's like an hour later and you're like, oh man, I've been stuck watching YouTube shorts this whole time. Same thing goes for Instagram Reels. Although I'd argue Reels is a little bit better than YouTube Shorts. Like, in some ways. In other ways, it's worse. Perfect. Just enough care. Well, just enough in the hand. Baldwin Birds, I don't remember that, but that was a little while ago. Well, that is an interesting idea. Traveling to Camino for Galactic Assault. That's what it is. I'm not the biggest fan of the Camino map unless I'm a droid, because then you can set yourself up on the far platform and you can just snipe everybody. As you can see, I do tend to prefer droids for the gameplay. But if I had to pick a side in like the actual, like, hey, what's your favorite side of the Clone Wars? You gotta go with the clones. But just strictly for gameplay purposes, I like playing as the droids. Now, maybe if the clones were using the classic Battlefront 2 clone voice, then maybe I'd be even more down to join the clones. Classic Battlefront 2 is still where it's at. It's a great game. Yeah, 2 streams per week. Yeah, it's if people are down for that, then yeah, I'll do that. I just think it'd be fun. The 1 stream a week at the time that we kind of have now, it stems from the fact that I used to actually stream on Twitch before I started doing YouTube. And then when I started doing YouTube, I transitioned away from Twitch and I was like, but I still kind of like the streaming aspect of things. So then I just started doing my 1 live stream a week or whatever. And it just kind of stayed the same since. So I think maybe it would be time to update that aspect of it. Because out of everything on the channel that hasn't, like everything on the channel that I make, the live streams are the things that haven't changed the most. So I think maybe it's time to change that a little bit. Boom, 28 emeralds. But yeah, I'll probably start doing the 2 live streams just to make things a little more interesting. A little bit more fun. You've only leveled your stuff up on the Republic side? Isn't it like... Don't your levels... Like your character level ups, isn't that like just for the classes and not just the sides? Are there specific things that matter per side that you're on? I haven't played Battlefront 2 enough to know all like the mechanics. I just play it for fun. What's your all's favorite meal for dinner? I guess maybe favorite foods? I love me a good taco. Tacos are pretty good. Cheesy potatoes. Those are pretty good. But if I had to pick one for like a favorite, just... I guess it also depends. If we're having like a big family dinner, then I want to do something like cheesy potatoes or something that has a little bit more substance to it. If it's just like, hey, it's kind of just a chill day, just a sort of chill end of the day, we're just kind of hanging out, probably like a pizza. A pizza would work pretty good for that. Mrs. Afton is Henry Emily's sister? Interesting. I've never thought about a storyline like that. Huh. That's an interesting take there, Baldwin Birds. I never thought about something like that. Huh. It would definitely add a much different connection for Henry and William. Man. The beetroot? Yeah, beetroot, I don't even bother planting it. As you can see. Like, it's an option you can sell, but it also doesn't, like, duplicate. So, like, when you harvest wheat, you know, like, it gives you just one stalk of wheat, but it gives you a bunch of seeds. And then for, like, potatoes and carrots, they give you a range, a multiple range on how many you harvest from one plant. Beetroot, it's like, here's your one beetroot that you can't do anything with. Like, at least wheat I can turn into bread, or I can, you know, breed the animals. Here, it's just like beetroot, it's like, no. You just have the one, and you can't do anything with it. Just sits there in your inventory. You have your dinner options? Wait, have you not eaten yet? I guess I didn't really mean to jump into the pen, but... Alright, hey, cows. There you go. Give me a little XP. Are these all fully grown? Because we could harvest... I'll leave them for now. You've leveled up on Anakin and Obi-Wan. I actually never play as... I never play as the heroes. I only ever play as the couple of kinds that I like. I never play as the heroes. I don't know. I just don't find them as fun for what I like to play. It's like 5 p.m. for you? Well, it's almost 9 for me. Well, I think we'll start wrapping it up. It's almost been 2 hours. We'll watch the sunset on the top of this hill. Take a screenshot. We at least got some stuff done. We built a path and built more path and built a gazebo. For you, it's 1 a.m. Eesh. Get some sleep. That was 8 for you. Yeah, we're all over the place. But I live on that good old Michigan time. That's where it's at. I'm a proud Michigander. I stand up for my state. I will say, I'm not going to say Michigan is the best state out of all of them, but it's got to be the coolest looking. Like, come on, it's a mitten. You can't really compete with that. When you play Minecraft, you like to look. Okay. I just have the Minecraft soundtrack in the background. Sometimes I watch some YouTube videos, but I typically just have the Minecraft soundtrack like I have right now. I'm playing it on Spotify. Because the Minecraft in-game music doesn't constantly play, it'll just like stop. That's really annoying. But was I smelting? No. Okay. But yeah, I just got the Minecraft music playing in the background. Oh, you got the lyrics wrong. You know how many times I'm like listening to a song on the way home, and I'm like jamming out in my car. I'm driving. I'm jamming out, and then I'm like singing along, and I'm like, and I'm like just off completely. Like I mess up one of the lyrics, and I'm just way off. Also, hi Mel, you made it. But we've only got like a couple minutes left. You're making it on the tail end of the stream. But I'll stay on a couple minutes longer. I'll harvest the sugarcane. I'll go sell some paper. And then I'll probably call it a day. Also, I could set up an automated sugarcane farm. I've done that on my other worlds. But I like hand harvesting it. I don't know, something about this survival world. I like doing things more manually. Just makes it feel more Minecraft. Like, is it more efficient? Probably not. But it's more fun. I can't say I know any of these songs that you're bringing up, but I'm sure they're good. I mean, I don't know if they'd be my kind of music, I guess. I can try to listen to one and see, but... They're from Minecraft? Are they? Are they, like, new ones? I'm missing a piece of sugarcane. Wait a minute. Maybe one of the stalks wasn't fully grown? No, it's over here. See, I know exactly how much sugarcane I get. I get 3 full stacks and then 12 for my full harvest. So that's how I know I'm off by one. Yeah, I don't listen to the new stuff. I only listen to the more classic Minecraft music. For the most part. I mean, whatever's on this playlist. So there are some newer ones, but I'm more of a fan of the classic Minecraft music. Mel, you found something which would summon mascot horror fans, especially the Ban Nation. That sounds kind of scary. In like a ban people kind of a way. I don't know. You get what I'm saying. All right, buddy. Come on, repair my elytra, please. There we go. Also, this is my mending villager, if you couldn't tell. That's why he's locked in this house. He's on house arrest. Which I don't really need him because I have mending on literally all my stuff already. But, you know, it's good to have. But yeah, that's why he's on house arrest. I also never like to lock up the villagers. I like to just keep them in house arrest. I don't want a salmon. Why does the water look so realistic? Because it's a shader. I play with shaders. That's why everything looks so nice. Warning, Ban is coming. It's like Baki. Warning, Baki is coming. And they say it like that. That is the only reason that I even mildly thought Baki was a fun game. It's just strictly like, warning, Baki is coming. I love that. It's 88 degrees outside. Eesh. What's it right now? For where I'm at. 55. But it's also 9 o'clock at night. Yeah, I get lyrics mixed up all the time. Oh no. I had a mural and they looked like the Ban characters. I guess that makes sense. I remember when malls had like the little, maybe they still do. You brought up that this one does. But like, yeah, the little play areas. I miss those. Those are fun. 8:04 for you. 9:05 for me. Well, I think that's about it for right now. I don't... Oh, also this forest in the back, I planted myself. I mean, the spruce, obviously, but I wanted to give the island a little forest, so I planted one. But, yeah, I don't really know what else. We're kind of at the end right now. Well, you're right. They probably didn't market off of that, at least at first, because Chuck E. Cheese is a kids' entertainment place. Then FNAF was kind of trying to trash that. Not really intentionally too much at first. But I can see why they wouldn't want to do that. Because it's like, hey, maybe let's not, you know, try to advertise towards the thing that's talking about kids dying in a place that's like Chuck E. Cheese. You could use your Xbox controller as a weapon. I have a golf club that I walk around with sometimes. I also use it just in case, like, I'm home alone and it's dark and I, like, hear something. I'll do, like, a sweep of the house with my golf club. Unknown, have you played Halo? I actually have... The only Halo game I played was Halo Infinite when it came out. Because I bought it on Steam. And I played it, like, most of the way through when it came out. And then I just stopped. And I haven't played it since. But no, I didn't grow up on Halo. So I didn't really play that many of them. Finish the watchtower before you on street. This is... I don't even know what I want to build for this. Like, I honestly don't even know the design I want to do. So, I can't finish the watchtower because I don't know what I want to do. Like, these other ones, I mean, I'll have to just kind of build it on a flow, but I'll need to, like, tear it down and then build it again in order to do that. I'm going to keep the same concept here because, yeah, it does have a good view. But I also have been thinking about raising the monorail track to come up to at least... Here, we'll go down. Maybe I can try to clutch this. Hey, it worked. I've been thinking about trying to get the monorail maybe to raise it up to, like, this level so that this just goes all the way out. And then it'll be high enough to go over that hill. And then maybe stay raised long enough to go out over there. So that there's not like a awkward tunnel. But we would have to raise the whole monorail up a good chunk. But that's like a future project. And I only raised it the first time because I had it on the road. But then villagers and iron golems kept getting in the way. So I had to raise it so that I wouldn't run into them while I'm driving on the train track. But... no. Well, there is a reason that malls are used, like abandoned looking malls are used for stuff like back rooms and whatever. When is that movie out? When did that one come out, or is it coming out? When is that one out? The Backrooms movie. May 29. No, yeah, it's not out yet. I didn't think it was. But I gotta see that. I think it'd be fun to see. Someone should make a mascot horror game set in a giant mall. I feel like somebody should just make a cool horror game set in a mall. I'm kind of like mascot horrored out, if that makes sense. Not that I don't enjoy them or like I won't play them, but like story-wise, I don't want to write about mascot horror anymore. I gotta do the Ban series, but then we'll see what we're gonna do after that. Because I'll need to figure out what the plan is for post Ban series, which I'm only thinking the Ban series is gonna be like 3, maybe 4 videos at most. I am not doing every single game. I will be condensing them down because I am not making 8 videos on Ban. I think I'd rather die. Subliminal? Yeah, I haven't played. I should probably play that, to be honest. I played the demo. I haven't actually played the game. I've seen people play it. I get that it's not the best. I don't know why people hate it so much. I get that it's not the best game ever, but it didn't seem like it was that bad to me. I didn't think it was the worst. I think it's better than something like Ban Ban. Alright, we gotta get this Iron Golem down. But we need a good strategy. I'll use my Elytra that I don't use that often. I forgot my train tunnel was right there. Alright, Mr. Iron Golem. There you go, buddy. I guess I could have maybe just jumped over from there, but I want to try it. Yeah, I'm sure it's not for everybody, but... Yeah, the Ban Ban rewrite idea started as a joke, and I was like, I'm never going to do it. But then I thought about it more, and everybody was... Not everybody, but a lot of people were like, you should do Ban Ban. Okay, fine. I'm sure I can come up with something. Besides, I think it would be fun to take a change of pace from doing, like, more serious stuff like Poppy to like having a bit more fun with it like Ban Ban with some inspiration from stuff like Finding Frankie. That was a fun game. They take the mascot horror and they make it fun. So that's going to be the kind of inspiration there. A little bit. But all right. We're going to do like it's a bar, last call. You guys are going to get some last questions before we end the stream. So if anybody's got last minute questions or things they want to talk about, speak now or forever hold your peace. Rewrite. I think the Ban Ban characters are kind of fun and silly, but they don't do anything with that. Like, they could work as, like, fun monsters, but they aren't scary and they don't make them fun. Mel. Maybe at some point I'll do like a Poppy Playtime rewrite timeline video. I still have to do that for the FNAF rewrites. But do like a timeline video where I go through and talk about more lore aspect rather than just gameplay aspect. I think that could be kind of fun to do at some point. Talk about the timeline. That could be fun. So I'll probably do one of those at some point. And yeah, rewrite. I don't get anything with Ban Ban. Yeah, no. I don't know why. I have like a few things that I say all the time. Like, for example, like I always say, is something that I say all the time. Even though I don't always say something. But then when I'm trying to use a real quote, I'll like say the correct quote and then still say that I got it wrong. But we are doing the last call, so last second questions or ideas or things, spit them out, otherwise we're done. But I will be doing Wednesday live streams to, one, make up for the fact that I'm not live streaming next week. Well, next week from today. So I'll do some Wednesday live streams. We'll add that in. Do some fun, more live stream stuff to hang out with you guys. And I think it would be fun for one of the live streams to do sort of like a, not behind the scenes, but like a working on brainstorming ideas for the original horror series. Make it like a shorter, like a 1 hour or something, where we just talk about and brainstorm some ideas for the original horror series. Because I think that'd be kind of fun to talk about and bounce some ideas off of you guys and stuff like that. So that might be one of them. Sort of like an admin stream, if you will. But back to the underworld. you'll have to tell me how it goes down in the underworld. And Mel, yeah, no, it's a bit of a bummer, and I look forward to maybe hearing more on Wednesday. So I hope to see you there, but it was still good to have you on for at least a little bit. And Man of the Man, I don't know what Bubby Chums looks like. Honestly, I can't stand those names, but that's a whole nother can of worms. But anyway, thank you guys for joining. I hope you guys had a little bit of fun. It was definitely a much more chill, down-to-earth live stream, and I enjoy these from time to time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I enjoyed talking to you guys. So with that, thanks again for joining in. I hope you all had a ton of fun, and I'll see you around on Monday with the short story, and then Wednesday with the next live stream. So thanks again, and goodbye.